My next patron question comes from Angelworks, who is curious about the MPAA being harsher towards certain films these days. Since Toy Story 4 is getting a G rating from the MPAA, what do you think of the fact that most animated films get a PG nowadays, and which ones do you feel will be better off with a G? That's a great question, and one I myself have thought about lately. It seems like when the MPAA watches most animated movies these days, they rubber stamp a PG on them for either mild rude humor, or mild peril, or brief language, or some other reason. The G rating seems like such a rarity nowadays, which is why it was so nice when Toy Story 4 got one. G used to be the norm for animated family films. Outside of something like The Black Cauldron or Batman Mask of the Phantasm, films that warranted the higher classification, you would have to actively try and get a PG. Even films like The Lion King, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan, and Tarzan, which had their fair amount of intense scenes, action sequences, and mature themes, got a G. But these days, all it takes is a sheep to burp to receive a PG. Yep, if you believe the MPAA, very young children need parental guidance to watch the Shaun the Sheep movie. The Star, which was the animated equivalent of a children's Sunday school pageant, was also PG. And the Lorax also got a PG for reasons. Even moving beyond the animated realm, the 2011 Muppets movie was given a PG for some mild rude humor, even though the comedy in that film was as innocent as they come. I think it takes away the meaning of PG if you slap it on anything, even if there's nothing inappropriate. If there's a lot of heavy action, like in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or some moments that veer towards horror, like in Paranorman, then sure, give it a PG. Even a movie with a lot of off-color jokes, like Shrek, makes sense. But Smurfs the Lost Village, Sing, My Little Pony the movie of all things, those are not PG movies, although the studios themselves can be at fault a few times. If a film has a PG for mild thematic elements, that's usually a hint there's nothing inappropriate, but the studio asks for a PG because G supposedly has a stigma of being for children only. Disney's live-action Cinderella got that reason, and lo and behold, it was perfectly acceptable for younger viewers. So when a movie gets a G in this day and age, it's actually rather refreshing. I have to give a lot of credit to Blue Sky Studios for being unafraid of putting out G-rated films. Rio originally got a PG, but 20th Century Fox did not think it deserved that rating and were able to get the film a G instead. Rio 2, Horton Hears a Who, and the Peanuts movie were also awarded a G. So a lot of the time, when a Blue Sky film gets a PG, it's for reasons that make sense, like the unflinching portrayal of bullfighting in Ferdinand, and the intense action and battle scenes in Epic. Pixar films used to regularly receive a G. The unofficial rule seemed to be if the central focus was on humans, that would result in a PG. The Incredibles and Up thus were the only PG Pixar films for a while, and both for logical reasons. What changed? Ironically, Toy Story 3 might have been the culprit. The MPAA rated that G, but parents complained that it should have gotten a PG for the intensity of the infamous incinerator scene. Since then, they've been harsher on Pixar. Brave and Incredibles 2, and I guess The Good Dinosaur, earned their PGs, but I think Inside Out, Coco, and definitely Finding Dory were harmless enough. Even Andrew Stanton commented on this when he was asked about why Dory got a higher rating than Finding Nemo. Like I mentioned before, Disney animated movies would commonly get G ratings, but that would change at the turn of the century. When Atlantis got a PG, that was a big deal, and it made sense, as that, along with Treasure Planet, featured a number of violent action sequences. However, Home on the Range of all things got a PG for just one joke.
Yeah, they're real. Quit staring.
That's right, a double entendre that I'm sure would fly over the heads of most 5-year-olds anyway. And in this decade, every Disney animation, save for Winnie the Pooh, has gotten a PG, and most of them for such minor things. I find the content in Tangled, Frozen, Zootopia, and Moana to be more than acceptable viewing for young children, but the MPAA disagrees with that, I guess. In my opinion, I think the MPAA needs to calm down, and not treat one quick fart sound effect or a harmless bit of cartoon slapstick as something dangerous to hide children from. because PG used to mean something, and now it's just become a G with one extra letter. Tell me what you think, and thank you for your question, AngelWorks.